Hey everybody, it's me, Pam, Dragon Moon Creations. Welcome back to my channel. I'm having to do this again because you know that little round box that you get from Amazon and you activate it with a trigger word. Well, mine seems I call it Betty when I don't want it to know what I'm talking about it. It seems that it just wants to start talking, and I was doing this video and it literally started talking. If it does it again while I'm doing this again, you will hear me cuss at that damn box. All right, let's start this again. I am working with this paper pad, older paper pad, Recollections Haunted Manor. I love it. It's really pretty. I got it on clearance for $3.99 a very long time ago. It is a 2013 pad, makes it 13 years old. I always mess with it a little bit at the beginning of every Halloween now. And I've got the cut aparts. I've got them all cut apart. I only used a couple of them though so far. I'll probably be using them as in cards or something. I haven't made any cards with this one. It's just it's really hard to use. The pages are really thick, but they're really cool. There are several partial pages. See here now. These are all partial pages. So I've got about halfway through it. These are about halfway. Half of them are still in there. And then, of course, there's my partially used, and here's my cut aparts and my bits. So I have been trying to use that. And I've been making the notepad holders that are I love it. Dollar Tree calls these mini legal pads. These are just notepads. So I have been I've been using some of those. And I got cats under my feet. I'm just really not in a good mood right now. They're just always under my feet. That page I just showed you, that big thick page. Anyway, that's the cover using Tim Holtz. This is all basically Tim Holtz. Let's see. Yeah, it's all Tim Holtz except for the doilies underneath and the Viewmaster reel. I do have a die that does that, and I had two of them laying over there, and so far I've used both of them. Not on this project, just this is the one project. Even the bats, even the shiny bats, they came out of the Tim Holtz Halloween ephemera package. First time I've ever used one of those, and I'm looking at it now and I've got it on there crooked. I don't care, or maybe something else is crooked. I don't know. I love the crows. I do. And this was actually in the Halloween packet. And I like to try to use the labels that come in those packets because I don't use a lot of labels. I wanted to put some orange in there, so I got the orange here and the 31 and the black and white. But anyway, that was the front of that. I used some cord that I had gotten 2 or 3 years ago from Hobby Lobby. And when it was fall, the back is just like that. It's just another piece of paper. And on the inside, for the outside being as busy as it is, the inside is incredibly simple. I used the scrap paper. I had some scrap paper from another piece of that pad of that paper. These are Tim Holtz Halloween words, and I've got it in the Halloween and the Christmas. It's shiny. I didn't really like it, but it's a spider, because up in here is spider webs. I don't know if you can see that. And this girl right here, there's one of the cut aparts. And this girl right here, she just sticks down. She only goes about down that far. And I just kind of put her in there and used one of the masks from the what is that? I forget what it's called now. Anyway, it comes on the spiral booklet. So anyway, that's one. That was the first one I made. And then I used some of the green paper, and this one was incredibly simple. in comparison. It was, the paper looks like it's torn, the wallpaper, like it's torn wallpaper or worn wallpaper. I used just the burlap on the side of that. And I had these doilies that I got them from Temu, and I had inked them. And then I took some other paper out of the collection, and I have the dye that makes that. And then I went looking, and I found this in a box that's over there. And I backed it on some black to give it a little more substance. You can see that's back on the black cardstock. And that was all I did. And it didn't even come from this collection. It came from a different collection, but the greens worked pretty well. And this has got like dyed green. So I didn't put anything else. I didn't gum it up. That one was busy. And on the inside, this paper here is where I got this paper. And this paper is left over from the front and the back covers. And this is printed on that paper. And then I had these, the 31. I had those numbers cut out. I cut them out a long time ago. It's a die set. And I cut them out a long time ago because I knew I'd be using 3s and 1. And then this went with, here we go with the green again. And it was a cut apart from the collection. Then suddenly a strange thing happened. Yes, indeed. So that's 2. And then I had a page in there. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's, oh, I know, I had to cut into it for something else. I think it's in here. Oh, heck. Where is it? There. That was on part of the page. So, yeah. And it was this and then some over here for 12. And it was all this. Now, anyway, I liked it. So I trimmed it up a little bit and made it a cover. Still got the spooky tree, got the owl and the spider webs. And then there's a bird. And there's a bat. And there were some more bats up above, but I had to trim it off to make it fit. And if you notice, I put it in my sewing machine, did a zigzag stitch around. The same with the back. See, this is this is the other side of the paper. This is right here. And I put it on, and I put it on upside down. I think it's upside down. Yeah, it's upside down because I think it is. At this point, who cares, Pam, right? And then I had this Spooky Night. It was some new word dies that I had gotten. Spooky Night. I like that. And I just used the, this is just tied. I just wrapped it around inside and just tied it together right here. It's not glued or anything. It's just tied on. And it goes all the way in through here. And then I use this paper. And there's some more of the paper in here. And I made a tag out of some spare paper that was in there in my bits. This is a set of like 4 different colors for fall. I just tied it on there in a bow. This right here, that glittery stuff, that glittery pinstriping, that's nail. That's for nails. They do that nails. And that one came off of a Tim Holtz roll. He had it look like old label maker stuff. And it was just 31, so I just stuck it on there. This right here has an interesting story to tell. You see it's kind of shiny? Yeah. Okay, let me tell you an interesting story. I got these stickers off of Amazon. They're pretty neat stickers. I'll try not to be too long. Let me get them open. Yeah. They were in this bag, and then they were in another bag. So I took them out of the other bag and just put them in this bag, and now I can never get this bag open. Okay, there we go. Got them. All right. They're stickers, right? Well, I took that one off. And I couldn't get the backing off it for love or money. I've heard all kinds of things. So I tried the Scotch tape. I tried that a few times with 2 or 3 different pieces. Wouldn't come apart. I see I can get it apart really easy now. I did it with another one too. Someone said heat them up. Well, my heat gun's down for the count. I guess I could have found a light bulb. I need a new heat gun. But I said, and I cussed and I fussed and I said, these are not stickers. So I got out my Xyron and I ran it through my Xyron. And it wouldn't go through the label maker part. And I don't have a Xyron for this, the 5-inch Xyron. I don't have it. But I had a cartridge that you can use. Well, I put it in there the wrong way, upside down. So I had the sticky stuff on the front. So I got out my Goo Gone, and I finally got it all rubbed off. Soap, water, hot water. I'm over at my utility sink washing this thing. And I said, this is not a sticker. It could not possibly survive all of that. You know, Xyron, Goo Gone, soap and water, laundry soap. I have a laundry soap bar trying to get the oil off from the Goo Gone. I said, this can't possibly be a sticker. I come over here to my desk with this thing that I had fussed and fought with it, and I was just going to put it down with glue. Because I was bound and determined to put it on there after all this. And I said, one more time, is it a sticker? And the backing came right off. I can only assume it was because of all the hot water. And then I came back over here, pulled one out. The backing just peeled right off. I said, you little effer. And then, like I did, I just pulled off right in front of the camera. Okay, there are others. I liked it because it was a tombstone. There are others. And this is Tim Holtz. So that's my story about, yes, it's a damn sticker, and boy, the backing wouldn't come off of it, this one, but it came off of the other one slicker. Greased owl poop. All right, that's that one. I'm going to show you my 4th one, and I made it today, and then that's all I've made, okay? And all these days in August. Well, you know, other stuff happens. This one. Now, this one, if you look on the back, it's got some, like right here, it's got some like glittery purple. Very, very subtle purple. And it's all spiders, right? So it is a spider web with a purple doily, which I had done, just like I had that one. That one was green. I did this one in purple. And then we went all Tim Holtz again. This spider web was in a package, American Crafts Halloween. It just says spider web doilies. There's silver, there's black, and there's white. And I've had them forever. Let me see. How long have I had them? Do they even have a date on them? I don't think so. Had them for a while, though. Anyway, okay. And then I said I wanted to put a paper doll because I got all kinds of paper dolls. She actually came out of the Halloween paper dolls, believe it or not. The new packages that have some paper dolls in it and some ephemera and some backdrop thingies. And okay. So, she was kind of creepy. Not too bad. She's a little creepier once I put that mask on her out of that pack. What is that pack? Okay, let me see. What is the pack? Sticker book. That's what it's called. It's just sticker book. And he's got another one that I wanted, so I went ahead and got it. But not the one I use, but those are masks. It's got masks in them. Okay, so I have a couple of those sticker books. Anyway, all right. And the butterfly, the stamp, the label. That's a purple label that I found. The poison, and she's standing on the label that says for external use only. Those all came out of that Halloween ephemera pack where I got the paper doll. And the skull came out of the sticker book. She's holding a skull, which I think is cute. And I found a, what is it? Just the word thing. It was in the sticker book, the word thing. Take the dead dry bones. Well, that's exactly what she's done. So she's like crazier than an outhouse rat, and she's going off with her skull. I thought it turned out cute. And then some, you can see the fabric tack, but I don't care. That's the stuff along the side. Probably would have been better had I just used like just regular white glue, like this stuff right here that I got for 89 cents at Michael's on clearance. This Creatology. It's really good. It's really good glue. Just some you know, thick craft glue. But now I had to go ahead and smear a bunch of that on there, and you can see it in there. Oh well, Pam. Okay, open it up. Got some more spider paper. I sewed around this one too. Front and back covers. Got the sewing on them. And I did the insides too. I sewed around this piece before I laid the pocket down. And this piece when I put it on the front of the pocket. This was spider webs that I had gotten from somebody multiple years ago. This, I don't really care for it. The spider, it's a little too dimensional. You see, it's kind of dimensional. I like it went with the green. He had a face on him. And he was almost smiling, so I took my Sharpie marker and gave him a mean face, like fangs. But when I close it, it hits over here and makes that mark on the paper. And I don't care at this point. This tag, I actually had to put it on some cardstock. It was really thin. And somebody sent me that. So I put that in there. And then this came out of the... okay, hang on. I'll find it. I'll find the word. Collage strips. Halloween collage strips. This came out of that. This came out of the Halloween ephemera. And that came out of the same paper that I got that from. And I thought, spinster, boy, doesn't she look like she's never had a good day in her whole life. So I had to put the spinster. And that's my 4. I made these, and I'm going to have to move on to something else. But I'm just like really not producing a lot, and I'm just discombobulated. So, but anyway, there it is. Those ones I've made, and let me know what you think. And thank you for watching. Bye.